Welcome to the Ebbs of History, the show where we dive into the strangest, wildest, and sometimes downright creepiest stories the past has to offer. From dancing plagues to pirate queens, you'll laugh, you'll gasp, you'll even groan at my impeccable dad jokes. But most importantly, we'll learn how history is way cooler than your textbook ever told you.
We are history-loving hosts, Zoe, Gavin,
And I'm Jason. And in every episode, the three of us will take a quick trip through time and see what lessons we can still learn today. This is the Ebbs of History. Hey there, history lovers. Welcome back to another episode of Ebbs of History. We're so glad you're here with us today. Zoe, Gavin, it's been about 30 seconds since we recorded our last episode. How's it going?
I mean, I really enjoyed that last episode, so I'm like riding high right now.
I know. That's why we're going to do another one.
Take a ton of notes. I have like 2 pages.
Yeah, that was a good episode, that last one. I really enjoyed that.
I really enjoy the format of the list episodes and different categories. And
It's not just the same thing for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And a little birdie told me that this episode's kind of like that, so
It is,
I'm a little
yes.
excited.
So, listeners, if you agree with Zoe, let us know on Instagram at Ebbs of History, or you can email us questions at ebbsofhistory.com. If you agree with Zoe, leave some comments.
And we can get more list episodes.
That's right. This week, the 4th of July is right around the corner. Hot dogs, fireworks, parades, the whole patriotic package. But here's the thing. Almost everything you know about the 4th of July is a little bit wrong. Wrong date, wrong country invented fireworks, wrong continent throws the biggest party. So today we're doing 4 weird, wonderful facts about America's birthday that absolutely should not be true, but are.
Yeah.
All right, buckle up, because by the end of this episode, the 4th of July is going to look very different than it did when we started. Do you know why I chose 4?
Because of the 4th of
July. All right, fact number 1. The date is wrong. Let's start with the big one. The 4th of July celebrates American independence from Britain. We all know this. Problem is, basically nothing important happened on July 4th, 1776.
What?
Zoe, guess what date Congress actually voted to break away from Britain?
June 4th?
June.
Gavin, any thoughts?
I'm gonna go July 3rd.
Oh, close. July 2nd.
Oh.
Well, because it has to be before, because it has to process. I didn't know how long it took for things to process back then. That's why I did way back.
On July 2nd, 1776, the Continental Congress, which was basically America's first version of a national government, voted to officially declare independence. That was the actual breakup. That was the moment a guy in a powdered wig somewhere said, "Yep, we're doing this. No more king." So why don't we celebrate July 2nd?
Is there something already on that day? So they just decided to move it.
Nope.
Maybe like the news was spread like fully on the 4th of July.
Okay.
Because it
So
did take a while
then
for
that's
news
when
to
people
spread.
start to like party.
Both very good guesses, but it's because of paperwork. Specifically, the Declaration of Independence, which is the famous document that explains why the colonies wanted to leave. Congress had a draft of it that needed to be edited, polished, and re-edited. Gavin, you ever had a school project where you all agreed on the idea, but then you spent the rest of the time arguing about the wording?
No.
Zoe's shaking her head yes, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's just conflicting ideas. Just of like,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of, it's almost there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Uh-huh. So imagine that, but with 13 colonies and quill pens.
The thing is, it probably has. I just don't really remember.
When you get into high school, it'll happen more, I'm sure. Bigger personalities.
No, especially when you're in certain classes.
On July 4th, 1776, Congress finally agreed on the final wording of the Declaration. That's it. They didn't sign it that day. They didn't even finish writing the final clean copy until July 19th. The actual signing happened in chunks starting on August 2nd, and some of the signatures didn't get added until later that year. Maybe even into 1777.
Wow.
Right? So when you see that famous painting of the Founding Fathers signing the Declaration together with quills in hand on July 4th, didn't happen. The painting actually shows a meeting from June 28th. The whole thing is more based on a true story than actual history.
Wow. It's like historiography early.
Mm-hmm. Here's the kicker. John Adams, one of the most famous founding fathers, and later the second president of the United States, was there.
I know him.
He was in the room.
Where it happened.
He knew exactly what happened on what day. The day after the big July 2nd vote, he wrote a letter to his wife Abigail saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, July 2nd is going to be the most important day in American history. People are going to celebrate it forever with fireworks and parades and parties.
A little early there, bud.
He nailed everything except the date. Adams was so annoyed that everyone started celebrating on July 4th instead of July 2nd that for the rest of his life, he refused to attend 4th of July events. The guy literally boycotted his own country's birthday party because he thought we were doing it on the wrong day.
Oh my god.
Was he one of those people?
That's funny.
Did he celebrate on the 2nd? Or did he just not celebrate at all?
I didn't read anything that he actually celebrated.
At all?
He'd be his own, it'd be him, and that's it.
Literally just him.
I feel like 4th of July does roll off the tongue way better.
It does. It does.
It's not the 2nd of July. But I think it's like if we had 2nd of July,
that would be normalized.
That would be normal. And then we'd be like, 4th of July, that's so weird. That doesn't roll off the tongue at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you'd be saying right now.
All right, fact 2. A weirdly large number of presidents died on July 4th.
Yeah.
You know that,
I was
right?
just thinking
Uh-huh.
of that.
Yeah. Didn't John Adams himself die on
Speaking of John Adams, here's where the story gets a little spooky. Adams died on July 4th, 1826. Zoe, what is special about 1826?
26.
1826.
Is that an election year? By any
It may have
chance?
been, but that's not what's special about it.
Then no. I probably
Is
should, but...
1826 when he died?
It is, yes.
Well, yes.
July 4th, 1826. Exactly 50 years after the Declaration was approved. The 50th anniversary, to the day. And his last words supposedly were, Thomas Jefferson survives. Beautiful, right? The two old rivals, both founding fathers, both former presidents. Jefferson must still be alive.
He died the same day.
Except Thomas Jefferson had died earlier in that same morning. Two of the most famous founding fathers, the men who basically wrote the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson did most of the actual writing, Adams did the editing and the arguing, died on the exact same day. Exactly 50 years after the document was approved, hours apart in different states. They had been close friends, then bitter political rivals, then close friends again. They spent the last years of their lives writing each other long, sweet letters apologizing for all the times that they'd fought. And then they died on the same day, on the 50th anniversary, with neither of them knowing the other was gone.
That's kind of like doomed lovers. That sounds like doomed lovers to me.
Kinda, right? Yeah,
It sounds like enemies to lovers.
Very tragic. Gavin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how possible is this?
Can I do percentage?
Sure.
Instead? I feel like lower than 1%.
Okay. Near 0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Real low. Well, Forbes magazine actually did the math on this. The odds of those two specific people dying on that specific anniversary are about 7 in 100,000. It is statistically bizarre. There were Americans at the time who looked at the coincidence and concluded it had to be the hand of God. Other people just got really nervous about being a founding father in early July. And then it gets weirder. 1831, 5 years later, another founding father and former president, James Monroe, also died on July 4th. That's 3 of America's first 5 presidents all dying on the same calendar square. 3 out of 5. At one point, when Andrew Jackson was president, 3 of his 6 predecessors had died on July 4th.
Oh my god, that's
It's like
funny.
a doomed date.
Right? And just for fun, the 30th president, Calvin Coolidge, was born on July 4th.
Oh my god.
He's the only U.S. president who was born on Independence Day.
Keep that in mind for trivia the week of July 4th.
I like how all of them, some part of their name starts with J. Just saying.
Monroe?
No, but James.
Oh. I'm just writing down last names.
James, Jefferson, and John.
Hmm.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe Jay is just the best name.
Are you going to die
the
on
best
July 4th?
starting.
No.
So, statistically speaking, this whole thing is super weird for the people who founded the country it celebrates, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fact 3, fireworks. You know what we do on 4th of July? We set off thousands of pounds of fireworks.
And we can never see them.
Right
we can't,
down
no.
on that street.
I mean, LA is ridiculous with the fireworks any day of the year.
Any day. The Dodgers win, we hear it's like 4th of July out there.
I just don't understand. Maybe it's because we live by the port of LA.
That might be it.
And a lot of, fireworks come in through there, and a lot of the dock workers maybe
There's just a lot.
get a hold of them. I don't know. It's just ridiculous around here all year round, not just on the 4th of July.
Kind of nice because, like, we kind of get desensitized to it.
We do. That is very true.
Actually have, like, mass amounts.
Do you know who invented the tradition of using fireworks to celebrate big national events?
Oh.
China.
Oh, I don't know who invented the tradition, but I thought that China invented fireworks.
China did, but do you know who started using them for big celebrations?
Was it?
I would guess Britain.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 the British.
Like, that's like a big global. And they learned it from them. They learned it from their motherland.
The same people we were celebrating not being ruled by. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of just like a ha-ha, kind of like.
Fireworks themselves are way older. They were invented in China around 200 BC. But the tradition of using them to celebrate huge national moments, that's basically a British thing. The very first big royal fireworks show on record was in 1486 for the wedding of King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. After that, the British royal family went absolutely wild for fireworks. King Henry VIII, yes, the famous one with all the wives, loved them. Queen Elizabeth I actually had a person in her court whose entire job was to organize firework displays.
That'd be a fun job.
Yeah, right?
Especially for that time period. There's not much fun things going on except for the weekly gruel.
King James I knighted a guy for being really good at fireworks. There was a master of fireworks in the royal court for hundreds of years. So when John Adams sat down in 1776 and wrote his wife, July 2nd should be celebrated forever with bonfires and illuminations, illuminations was an old word for fireworks. He wasn't inventing a new tradition. He was basically saying, let's celebrate our independence from Britain by throwing the kind of party the British king would throw.
That's just kind of funny.
That's
right.
It's also kind of weird because George Washington specifically said he's not going to be a king, but they celebrate their independence like the royalty. I don't know. That's kind of like...
I get where you're coming from, but I see it more of as they're thumbing their nose at the king.
I see it like that too.
Yeah.
Because that's just like...
You can really see it many ways at one time.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'd be like winning a soccer game and then celebrating by doing the other team's exact victory dance. I mean, that is trolling, right?
I mean, like, that's the level of petty I strive to be. Like...
Here we are, 250 years later, still lighting up the sky exactly the way the kings we kicked out used to do. Fact 4. Gavin, where do you think the largest 4th of July celebration outside of the United States is held? I can give you some options if you want.
Yeah.
The Philippines, because the U.S. used to control the Philippines and gave them their independence on July 4th, 1946. England, because they get to make fun of us. Or Denmark, the small Scandinavian country known mostly for Vikings, Lego, and pastry. Which one?
Probably Denmark.
Yeah? Why?
Just because the randomness of it.
Okay.
I have to agree because it's like Britain, I mean, like, I mean, I didn't think that any other country in the world celebrated the 4th of July just because it is like a U.S. thing only. I mean, the Philippines would make sense, but it's also like, I don't want to associate myself with the people that were in charge of us for so long and treated us like animals. Like, I don't want to celebrate
Interesting
that.
point, yeah.
That's why I'm like, it's not the Philippines because they probably have so much resentment towards the U.S. because just the past.
Yeah.
The other logical thing is like England saying like, oh, we can just get rid of them, don't care about them anymore. Like,
yeah, they're like almost celebrating it.
Celebrating getting rid of us.
I'm just like, I'm done with you.
But they were an asset. But like the Americas were an asset to Britain, so it's
Yeah.
almost a loss for them.
And to like,
So I guess the only
Europe.
logical response is Denmark, which makes absolutely no sense.
I
But
just- I don't know.
Well, the answer is Denmark.
Ha!
Every year since 1912, in a place called Rebild National Park in northern Denmark, the Danish-American Friendship Association has held a giant 4th of July festival. We're talking thousands of people, sometimes tens of thousands. Picnics, parades, live music, speeches, lots of singing, and pickled herring, because it's still Denmark. The party runs from July 1st all the way through July 4th, so they actually celebrate better than we do.
yeah, not even America does all of that.
On
like...
July 2nd, actually.
Oh, God.
Past speakers at the festival have included Walt Disney, the actor Richard Chamberlain, the U.S. President Richard Nixon, and actual members of Danish royalty.
Why is Nixon speaking at a not American 4th of July?
He had a foreign policy that was more expansive than a lot of other presidents. That might be part of it.
That makes sense.
I just find it odd that why Denmark? Why they just like, yay, 4th of July
I know.
for no reason? They have no ties to America.
We'll get there. It has been going on for over 100 years and is older than most things people associate with the 4th of July, like the modern fireworks shows you see on TV. But why? Why does a country that has never been an American colony, never been ruled by America, and is literally on a different continent throw America the biggest birthday party outside of America itself? It's all because of a group of Danish immigrants. In the early 1900s, a bunch of Danes who had moved to the United States made good lives there and ended up loving their adopted country, pooled their money together. They went back to Denmark, bought a piece of land in the rolling hills of Jutland, and gave that land to the Danish government as a gift, with one condition. The land had to host an annual celebration of American independence. The Danish government said sure, and they have been holding it every single year ever since. Except during the actual world wars when, parties were generally on pause.
Yeah.
There is even an award given out at the festival each year called Top Karen Award, given to someone for their contributions to society. Zoe, do you think the person who named that award in 1912 knew what Karen means in modern internet English?
No, it
Yeah.
has a completely different connotation.
Yeah, probably not.
And that's just like world renowned.
Right.
Like I think everyone in the world, in the English speaking world, knows Karen.
The name has aged interestingly, to say the least.
That would age like fine milk.
But the festival itself, 100+ years of Danes and Americans hanging out, eating, and singing about a holiday that technically isn't theirs. So there's our 4 facts: the wrong date, the spooky presidential deaths, the very British fireworks, and the giant Danish party. The 4th of July is somehow even weirder than the wildest backyard fireworks show. Historiography. I'm going to leave that all in, too. A quick word on how we know all of this. Some of these facts are ironclad. John Adams' letter to Abigail saying July 2nd was the real Independence Day still exists. You can read it on the Massachusetts Historical Society website. The deaths of Adams, Jefferson, and Monroe on July 4th are all in the historical record with witnesses present. These are solid. Other parts are murkier. The famous painting of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the one with all the founding fathers gathered around a table, is by an artist named John Trumbull. He painted it about 50 years after the fact, and historians have known for a long time that the scene he painted didn't actually happen the way he showed it. The story that Adams' last words were Thomas Jefferson survives comes from people who were there, but last word stories from the 1800s are notoriously hard to verify. Sometimes a dramatic line gets cleaned up later to sound better. The basic facts, though, that Adams and Jefferson died hours apart on July 4th, 1826, those are absolutely documented. The fireworks history is well known, but not always emphasized, because nobody wants to put it on a 4th of July greeting card. And Rebild Park in Denmark is well documented, going back to the original land deal in 1912. Lessons we've learned today. So, what do these 4 weird July 4th facts actually teach us? Any ideas?
Always double check. Like, this is like a very big part.
It's like
of
the
this.
mission statement of our podcast.
I know. It's like always question.
Always question, yeah.
Just do your own research. Because it's like, don't always just look at the top search on Google. Go down a couple pages.
A couple pages at
a
least.
couple pages to get some good sources, because the top is the most common, but I mean, it's not always right.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the first one.
I got a couple. Holidays are stories, and stories change over time. We picked 4th of July, not because it was the right date, but because it was a date on the paper. History often remembers the dramatic moment, not the actual one. Second, the lines between countries are blurrier than we think. Americans got their fireworks tradition from the British, and the Danes love America enough to throw us a 100-year-long party. People borrow from each other all the time, even from people they used to fight. And lastly, even the people who make history don't always get to control how it's remembered. John Adams pleaded with America to celebrate July 2nd. America did not listen. 250 years later, we are still doing it on the wrong day, and John Adams is still somewhere very annoyed.
Rolling in his grave.
It's time for the Fun Fact Challenge. 3 questions. Wait till I finish. Lock in. Question 1. On what date did the Continental Congress actually vote to declare independence from Britain in 1776?
Locked in.
Gavin.
He was just louder.
I think I heard him
was
first.
way earlier. July 2nd.
Correct. Question 2. Which 2 founding fathers, both former presidents, died on July 4th, 1826? The same day, exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was approved.
Locked in. I didn't think I should go because Gavin said it. Because Gavin went earlier.
No, but I myself.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You made noise.
She's right, but I think I heard you first, Zoe.
Adams and Jefferson.
They died within hours of each other in different states, neither knowing the other had died. All right, now here's a hard one because you guys are tied.
Great. Just great.
I'm going to change it up a little bit. At what national park does Denmark host one of the largest 4th of July celebrations outside the United States since 1912?
Locked in.
Gavin.
Rebild National Park.
Ding, ding, ding. Gavin won 2 in a row.
I didn't write that down.
2 in a row.
I knew I would need that.
How does it feel?
Amazing.
I actually went back in my notes, and the last time Gavin won was episode 10.
Oh, of course.
Actually, it was the last episode.
Well,
which was,
if we're talking about the last episode, it was that time, but...
Let's just say that it's the last episode that you were on.
What?
You missed a couple episodes, and Mom stood in, and Gavin beat Mom.
Oh,
and
no,
then
I'm just talking
sometimes
about
I'll host, so I'm not in it.
I'm just talking about the supreme champion of Fun Fact Challenge.
Dang.
Okay.
I'm
Coming for
like...
your title.
You're coming for my title?
This day in history. Some other things that happened on July 2nd, because today is July 2nd, across history.
John Adams rolls in his grave every year.
So it's kind of fitting that this episode comes out on July 2nd.
Yeah, and not July 4th.
Yeah. 1776. What happened? What do you think happened on July 2nd, 1776?
The Declaration of Independence. Oh, no. They signed the Continental Congress signed They voted. They voted. The Declaration of Independence did not get signed until August, but it was later.
Fully, yeah. Continental Congress voted to officially declare independence.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Word for word.
1644. At the Battle of Marston Moor in England, parliamentary forces handed the Royalist army of King Charles I their first major defeat in the English Civil War, shifting the course of the conflict. That's a big one. In English history, at least.
Yeah.
Why was there a civil war?
Because there was a group of people, led by Cromwell, who didn't want a king anymore.
Was it the Puritan Revolution? And wait, no, it was like part of the Protestant Revolution or something like that? Puritan.
Because Cromwell was a Puritan.
But you know Cromwell, Gavin.
Yeah. The thing is, I've only really heard about the American Civil War.
Oh, there's been no.
There were officially there's one English Civil War, but there was other conflicts.
Yeah.
There's one called the Anarchy, which was technically a civil war because two people were trying to be king and queen. Matilda was trying to be queen, and her cousin was trying to be king, Stephen. So there's times like that has happened, but there's only one official English Civil War.
It's kind of like how we haven't been in an official war since World War II. Like, we've been in conflicts, but officially declared by Congress, we haven't been in a war since U.S. hasn't been in a war since.
And that is bonkers.
That's insane. With all the little proxy wars and the Cold War and the conflicts happening now.
Or just a president with a power-hungry president just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, there's...
4th of July is coming up.
Anyway, also on this day in 1881, President James Garfield was shot by Charles Guiteau at a Washington, D.C. railroad station. Garfield clung to life for 2 months before dying in September, becoming the second U.S. president to be assassinated.
At that point, is it technically an assassination? Like 2 months later?
I mean, it's the cause.
Yeah.
A great show about this whole situation. It was really, really good. A show called Death by Lightning. It's on Netflix. It was very accurate and well done.
Doesn't have Nick Offerman in it?
It does have Nick Offerman.
Then.
Yep. He's Chester A. Arthur in that. Yep. It's really good show. I really enjoyed that one.
Is it like a mini-series or is it a full show?
It's a mini-series, but I mean, it's a full show. Like, I don't understand that
like
question.
4 episodes versus like 13 episodes.
Oh, no, it's 4 episodes, yeah. The 4th of July is on the wrong day. The fireworks are stolen from the people we were rebelling against. 3 of our first 5 presidents died on it. And the biggest celebration outside America is in Denmark. Other than that, totally normal holiday. That's it for this episode. Thanks for traveling through time with us on the Ebbs of History. If you like today's story, share it with a teacher, a friend, or your family on Instagram at Ebbs of History. If you have any show ideas, corrections, or questions, you can contact us at questions@ebbsofhistory.com.
Signing off, this has been your co-host, Gavin,
Zoe,
and me, Jason, reminding you that history is not just about dates and battles. It's about people, curiosity, and the weird, wonderful choices that shaped our world. Until next time,
keep wondering,
keep laughing,
and keep learning through
the Ebbs of History.